This one we're going to take the steering knuckle and spindle off and remove the springs. The first thing you want to do is loosen the two bolts that hold the control arm bushings so that they're free to rotate. And notice I got the tie rod tied up so it's out of my way. We'll remove that after we get the lower control arm off. Gives us a little more room to work. You don't want to take the bolt all the way out, you just want to loosen it up where the control arm can pivot easily. Now the front one, I got the heavy duty suspension, which is 1.125" sway bar, so I got to drop it out of the way in order to get a socket on the bolt head. And sorry you can't see anything, my camera was a little bit too low. But I'm taking the bolts out that holds the sway arm, and I'm going to set it down on a piece of wood. Now we get in there and get that front bolt loosened up a little bit. Yeah, I figured that out on the passenger side, that if you loosen those bolts up, then the control arm will swivel down easy, because it's got like a teeth on the inner bushing on both sides. Yeah, you can actually see me loosening up the bolt now. Now I'm putting the sway bar back up just temporarily. I got new bushings for it. That'll be the last thing I put on. Yep, we got a little road rash on the bumper cover. Alright, got that done. Get my old man ass back up. Now we're going to take the cotter pins off the ball joints and loosen them up about 1/4 inch. The coil spring presses on the lower control arm, which puts down force on the steering knuckle, and it makes it easier to get the upper ball joint loose without using a pickle fork or any such stuff. And we just loosened up where it's got about 1/4 inch gap between the nut and the steering knuckle. And we'll do the same thing on the bottom ball joint, but we won't show it because you couldn't see anything. The camera was up too high. Just make sure you don't take that all the way off. Right, now hit the side of the steering knuckle a couple of times and it's going to pop loose. Bam, there goes. That was easy. Alright. Now I got the jack actually in the wrong spot. See, it's pressing on the splash guard. And it's going to bend the splash guard before this sequence is over with. But it's easily straightened. And you want to make sure that there's no tension on that nut. You want to be fully in control with the jack. See, it feels a little tight. Jack up a little more. Yeah, it needs to come off, I think, by hand. Get a little bit higher. There we go. Now, because my jack is pressing against the splash guard, it's not going to be a smooth exit. And you'll see here in just a minute. If it was pressing on the ball joint like it should have been, it would just ease right off of there instead of doing that.
Well, I'm sitting on a damn thing.
Anyhow, there, just bent it. And I'm still a little bit too high because I'm pressing on the splash guard, and bend it some more. It's straightened out though. Jack out from underneath it. At this point, there's almost zero tension on the spring. There we go. Or zero compression, I should say. Now I got the spring out. Then I'm going to raise it back up and put the nut temporarily back onto the upper ball joint to hold it in position while I break the lower one loose. And look at my lovely bent splash guard. This little tool right here, I got it $20 from Harbor Freight, and it's wonderful. It's adjustable. Got two different holes. Right now it's on the upper hole. Look at that lower control arm moving around. That bushing must be shot. Get pretty good tension on it. Yeah, puny hammer. Go get a BFH. A little bit more tension. Yeah, that's moving tight. Now we're going to get a little bit bigger hammer. Look at that lower control arm moving around. And that's loose and ready to come off.
That.
Yep, I'll have to straighten that out before I put it back together. Get the steering knuckle spindle off. Now, if you didn't loosen those two bolts up, it would be very difficult to push that down. I found that out on the other side. Yep, and that's my shock nut that's broken loose. Have to weld that back on.